You know, I've seen a lot of people complain about the lack of something big this year from Square Enix. I mean, not only this is the 30-year anniversary of Final Fantasy, it's 20 years since Final Fantasy VII and Tactics, 15 years since Kingdom Hearts, hell, even 10 years since The World Ends With You. Holy crap, it's like they are planning to make all of this lining up perfectly together. But you know what will be the best anniversary gift? If Dissidia NT is released this year, it will be a perfect match. And if they add Sora and Neku into the game, screw the rules, I have a dream. Nobody can argue with them anymore. Sadly, it's next year, so 31st anniversary, I guess. Do I even need any introduction? Hell, even someone who haven't heard about Final Fantasy before will still remember this guy's face, a giant butter knife, and gravity-defying hair. The ultimate legend who Square Enix will never stop putting him into the game. But the real question is, do I like him? Yes I do. But it's actually because of Dissidia. When I first played the game, I looked at all the hero characters to choose, and when I saw Cloud, I was like, dude, this guy's face looked pretty, and he became my main ever since, and by god do I love every second of it. He's a little slow at first, but holy crap, he blows enemy away faster than they can say Team Rocket. No wonder why he's in Super Smash Bros. He's perfect for it. A lot of his moves is not too shabby either. Rising Fang is cool, Sonic Break to Finishing Touch is a great combo attack, but nothing can compare to Slashing Blow to Omni Slash version 5. Let me tell you, I spammed this move throughout the entirety of Confession of the Creator story mode. It's so flashy, so powerful, and AI always use the assist chain too early and I still hit him anyway. What can I say, he's my #1 main and I will definitely main him in NT. But will he still be alive after 20 years of work in Square Enix game? Jump off the train and let's go bomb that Mako reactor with me in Cloud Warrior Spotlight. Pretty similar to Terra, most of Cloud moveset is still remain from the old game. Sadly, the moves that were in Advent Children are not in the reboot, so no Aerial Fang, a Rising Fang, and of course, Omni Slash version 5. It seemed like they focused mostly on the original Final Fantasy VII, and one particular move that only a few people will remember it from Final Fantasy Tactics. Which is cool, I think. They recreate each attack pretty faithfully, with also pretty good unique mechanic. There's actually one word that pretty much describes about 80% of his movesets. Charge. All of his attack except for 2 is revolved around charge mechanic. Not just melee attack, even his projectile can be charged. And no worry, he's not like 2-in-1 character where each attack has multiple forms. Thank god for me. His attacks are not much different whether if you charge it or not. I'll explain it a bit. By holding an attack button, Cloud can charge and delay that attack, which can go up from level 1 to level 3. For each level, it will increase damage, because of course it does, a super armor to go through projectile better, range to travel even further, and even tracking or homing potential to make it easier to hit. How long does it take to charge? That's a good freaking question. By my incredible calculating skill, and by that I mean compare the time between the start of the attack with the flashing light frame, and I realized that while the charge from level 2 to level 3 is pretty constant, the time it takes from level 1 to level 2 is pretty rarely from each attack. My guess is that some attack has a few starting frame that doesn't count as a charge. You might think that I've been focusing too much on this charge time. But if you utilize the charge mechanic properly, it can make a simple duel into a mind game, because you don't know that they don't know that if you're gonna charge attack them or not. Pretty similar to Capca. Why do these two have a similar mechanic? That's beyond me. Now, without charge or basically level 1, his attack is a tiny bit weaker than average. Emphasis on tiny. It's not really matter that much, the damage is still a bit lower, but that's it. You can still play normally without charge and don't suffer much weakness. But with charge, specifically level 3, his attack is too freaking good, especially melee attack. it can go really far. Just look at this, it can go almost 2 minimap circles. It's freaking ridiculous for a melee attack. With this amount of raw power, his role in the game can be considered as either a heavy bruiser or juggernaut. I would say he's in between Warrior of Light and Garland, with a recent patch give him some defensive stat. He's also have some similarity with Sephiroth. They're both good at rushing down enemy, has a ton of super armor, and they both have pretty big melee attack hitbox. Not sure that the similarity is intentional. Well, at least Sephi is focused more on speed and combo potential, while Cloud is more on raw power and range. Is there any weakness for him? Yeah, I would say he's one of the slower heavy type in the game right now. And while his combo is really strong, he's not really much of a team player. He can't keep enemy in place for your teammate to attack them without wall rushing. Well, he can still do that, but most of other melee fighters can do it way better. Now let's move on to Bravery attack now, because I might make this video longer than Terror one despite being less complex character. His neutral ground is Sonic Break. There is no absorb effect like all move, by the way. It's a basic ground combo move that you will not be using much. It has really great range when it's shot to level 3, but it will only hit the target on the ground. The mid-air counterpart of this attack is what you will be using a lot more, so let's moving on. Clown forward ground is Claim Hazard, or Climb Hazard, or whatever you want to call it. Well, nothing much to say about this that I haven't said about Sonic Break already. It's slightly better in my opinion. It has a better range overall, has a strong super armor that can pierce through every Bravery attack from speed to shoot type, and by dragging enemy upward and strike it down, he can follow it up with an aerial attack easier than Sonic Break, but the damage might fall off a bit if he used it from far range, and overall it's easier to dodge, so choose these two moves depend on your situation. Sack backward ground is Blade Beam. It's kind of both a close range AoE attack and a long range projectile at the same time. He smashed the ground to create a 3 shockwave in a cone shape. At level 1 it has a pretty pathetic range, and I believe it ignores magic collision too, so it can be used to destroy projectile. But at level 3 however, with the addition of huge shockwave, he can shoot a giant blade beam in the middle. The charge time for this move is pretty short too, so it can be useful to snipe someone from far range. Just beware the stage terrain though, and the damage is pretty standard compared to other moves. Chocobo Head's neutral aerial is Slashing Bow. You can only knock enemy diagonally downward this time, but still that's all he needs here. And without a doubt, this is still his bread and butter move. It deals good damage, has a pretty big hitbox, can knock enemy pretty far. It's basically like Sonic Break. And don't forget the incredible range at level 3. And with short charge time, it can also be used as a mid-range engage in some cases. You can also cancel it after the second hit to keep beating them more, but make sure the guy you're beating doesn't have a faster attack than you. But remember that great range only applies to horizontal. Vertical range is debatable, and overall animation can still be pretty long, so beware your surrounding when you're using it. Crown forward aerial is Braver. One of the few original dunking attacks, and let me tell you, this move deals a lot of damage. Even though it takes a lot of height to get more damage from high scaling, the base damage from AoE blast shockwave at the end is already enough. Though when he shot this attack, he doesn't get much more damage, but the blast area becomes way bigger. At level 3, the shockwave radius is about twice as much as level 1. Aside from using this move as a downward attack or ground AoE, it can use as a combo finisher and breaking summon core. You can break it with just 2 hits. The downside of this attack is it's pretty slow at the start, and the driving part of this attack can be pretty hard to hit, so expect it to miss sometime if you don't wall rush enemy first. His backward aerial is Finishing Touch. No longer an HP chain attack, now it's a projectile like the original game. He shoots a somewhat pretty slow moving tornado that homing a little bit. Charging it increased damage, size, range, and combing capability. A unique part of this attack is that it can go through multiple targets, At max shot, the tornado is pretty damn big. And a little side note, it will knock enemy upward slightly instead of knocking it back, so you can use it as a short crowd control. The weakness aside from slow animation and well, weak to terrain, it has a medium projectile priority, which means it can be destroyed by others with the same priority or higher. Well, lastly, his dash attack is Spinning Drive. One of the moves that cannot be charged, that also looks pretty underwhelming. Well, it's a utility attack, so I'll give it a pass. A super armor is the best part of this attack. Can use it to rush through projectile. With high damage, he can easily out-damage in the duel. On the other hand, while it can wall rush a target pretty easily, you can't dash cancel this move fast enough to combo with it. I recommend using this as a last option for quick super armor attack. All these tools can make him feel like a giant truck, and some might think that charging mechanic will weigh him down. But here's a little tip, he can dodge cancel while charging in case opponent attack is approaching you and you can't counter it. This little trick can make him surprisingly mobile in short term at least. But still, it can be difficult to use level 3 shot attack despite a huge upgrade. But thankfully he can break that limitation. His EX skill is Limit Break. A simple yet very effective skill that has a minute-long cooldown and 20-second duration. It greatly reduces the charge time for, well, every attack that can be charged for at least a half of it. So mostly less than half a second. This makes using level 3 way easier. And recently it will also give him 20% defense buff. Not sure why, but I guess it's kinda nice. I think an attack buff would be more appropriate, but I guess that's too overdone. The reason why I talk about EX skill before his HP attack because some of them actually can be affected by it. His starting HP attack is classic Claw Slash. A 3-hit combo that has pretty much an identical animation to the original. I gotta say this first though, this attack is freaking awesome. It's the fastest attack out of all his HP attack, but it also has a pretty damn good range for melee moves. Even the vertical range is pretty good. While the second and third slash doesn't make him move, but with chargeable mechanic it can go even further. And it can even dodge cancel while charging. Damn, he can cancel HP attack? And the damage is great too. Not the most damaging compared to other one, but definitely the most constant. This is a go-to HP attack for Cloud in most situations. Might be a little risky with a pretty long animation, but still the great initial and the best Cloud HP attack for now. His second HP attack is Meteor Rain. Ah damn, even in the different character, a meteor still haunted me. Not the same attack obviously, but the animation definitely recycled. Thankfully, it's a wave attack. It might be a little slow, but it do homing a little bit, so it forces enemy to dodge for a pretty long distance. The more you charge, the longer it goes. Range is not as far as I'd say freaking regular meteor, but it can still hit multiple targets and the vertical range is pretty high. And like Claw Slash, you can charge dodge cancel out of it as well. Think of it as a slower version of many wave attacks we currently have, like Wild Shining Wave, Lamsa Shock Wave, Kapka Hyper Dive, etc. Fun fact about this move though, like the original Dissidia, the tiny meteor cloud summon on top of his head at the start can actually deal Bravery damage. Will you ever land it? Probably not, but hey, the more you know. His third HP attack is an ultimate attack from Final Fantasy Tactics, Cherry Blossom. You know I used to call it Sakura Hana Kiyosaki or whatever, but that's a time when I didn't even bother doing much research, so shut up, okay? You know how a lot of games have this one particular character or ability that people really hate? Well, I would say that character would be one, but when it comes to individual attack, Cherry Blossom is gonna become a bastion of Dissidia. Infuriating to deal with at first, but not really overpowered when you know its weakness. By holding a square button, Cloud will stand still and channeling his magic. After about 3 seconds of charging, he will unleash 3 magic attacks at the enemy he targeted at the start of the channeling. Oh, did I say target? I also mean it's global. If he just look at you, then the attack will be there and murder you. The victim will have a lightning effect warn you when he starts channeling, but if you are not moving in the next 3 seconds, you're gonna get zapped, freeze, and explode. He will get a super armor in the ending animation, so you can't even interrupt him after 3 seconds. You probably think, well, 3 seconds is not that bad. Well, how about this? If he used Limit Break, the charge will go down to 1 second. A global HP attack with 1 second Q time that can deal additional damage. In a 20-second limit break time, you can use about 4 or 5 of them at maximum. The only other global HP attack right now is Kane Jump 3 EX skill that has 115 second cooldown. But here is some many of negative point of this attack. He can't move whatsoever, and while he gets a super armor at the end of the attack, he can still take damage and the animation is long as hell. Anyone can wait a bit and counter him after he's done. The best advice I can give you when you fight against Cherry Blossom Cloud is have at least one person target him at all time, or just have one person be a cloud killer or something. If you are speed or shoot type, you are the one who have to fight him. The last one, but definitely not the least, legendary Omni Slash. Or should I say 1/3 of Omni Slash? Well, we didn't get a version 5 but still got the original, so I'm cool with that. This move can't be charged though, so just press the button and he will go in. Normally this move is kind of meh. It deals some damage but only the half of Cross Slash. Range is also shorter, even with some super armor in it, it's just a decent combo finisher. Except when he breaks his limit. In limit break duration, the attack is greatly improved, the range is even further, the starting animation is a bit faster, the amount of slash go from 5 to 10, and after landing it, he becomes invincible. Yes, invincible. Nobody can stop him except for Buzz Knight apparently. And damage is skyrocketed, with Mighty Strike is an easy 1000 plus damage. But if you're the unlucky one who getting hit by it, then put down your controller and go make a sandwich, cause you can't do anything for about 8 seconds, plus 2 seconds if you are dead too. This move compared to Cross Slash is a little bit risky to use, because it relies a lot on limit break power spike. I still think Cross Slash is a better choice overall, but if you want to stack Bravery first and then unleash it when you're using limit break, then by all means go with Omni Slash. Alrighty then. If you want to talk about his popularity, duh, he's a freaking cloud. Even if he sucks, he's still gonna be on the top 10 anyway. He used to stuck at 4th place for a while, and then this year he's up to the top 3 and probably stay in the 1st place from now on. Or maybe he got a surprise challenger waiting to reclaim his throne. His competitive scene is not too bad either. A couple teams used him in this year's tournament, including the winning team. He's pretty constant in terms of ranking, and thankfully he doesn't have a lot of chain. Thank God I can make this quick. Let's go with the big one first. In May 11, 2016, all of his attacks except for Spinning Drive, Cherry Blossom, and Omni Slash initial direction have been improved. Hey, I say big, not interesting. Sonic Break got a tiny insignificant change, and Climb Hazard and Blade Beam is still the same. Slashing Blow Chain is pretty similar to Sonic Break, just make it less buggy and a little slower. Bravery got some buff that make it easier to hit overall, a lot of chain but not that important. Finishing Touch is now faster to cancel and it used to deal way more damage, so thank you for nerfing it. Spinning Drive got a longer super armor, so now it's easier to rush to attack, but it's even slower to guard cancel, so enemy can easily counter attack. Cross Slash is now faster and have a longer range in mid-air, probably the reason why it become more popular. Meteor Rain got a small range increase. Cherry Blossom is wow, they don't even bother to changing it? Guess they know nobody used it except for LOL. And Omni Slash is now a little faster but the range is shorter. Normal version only though. It used to deal a ton of damage. Wait, what? That damn much? Did I have been wrong about Blade Torrent deal more damage than Omni Slash this whole time? I waste a lot of time ranting about that in Onion video. God damn it. Well, anyway, Limit Break as I mentioned before got a 20% defense buff just recently, and animation can be way faster to cancel. And lastly, pretty confusing chain that I can confirm myself. They said the charge time of all attack is now the same, but it clearly not from the gameplay I saw. I blame Google Translate for this. Then, if you're talking about his build, it is nothing spectacular regardless of which HP attack he chooses. Mighty Strike is rarely overused, but it's still a must-have for Cloud. especially if you use Core Slash or Army Slash. Stamina Break is good to lock down a target as well. Oh, and Brave Magnets have become very popular lately, but it's not really complement with his moveset, so yeah, it's your choice I guess. For Cloud matchup, well, I'm still not sure about this, but I think it depends on the dueling potential and mobility. While he have a lot of super armor to ignore projectile, he still lacks some speed to catch up with shoot type. It depends on the character at least, but when it comes to melee fight, someone with a lack of range and vertical attack can be disadvantaged against him. So I would say Garland and Lamsa. Garland is pretty similar to Cloud, but I think Cloud can outrange him in most cases. Unless he uses chain cast in different height, but it's still pretty easy to dodge. If Cloud player can use charge dodge cancel to his advantage, then I think he can dodge Garland attack just fine. Lamsa is still scary if he have a shout form, which makes him more mobile than you, but he still lacks a vertical attack, so he needs to fight you on the same level, which he can still win at close range, but at mid range it's still possible to dodge his shot attack. And not to mention, Shout only lasts for 25 seconds, so aim for him when he's not in Shout form. For the people who can storm him, is the one who can play passively or wait for attack and counter properly. I will go with Sizzle and Kuja. Sizzle in both Paladin and Dark Knight can do a lot of things that Cloud is weak against. He can zone Cloud with Dark Knight projectile and Paladin Searchlight, and when Cloud is approaching you, if you can dodge, Paladin can counter him easily. Just playing defensively, Sizzle is really good at that. Kuja has the most constant mobility of all assassins. He can change attitude pretty quickly and fight while moving, so even if Cloud can dodge Kuja attack, he will not likely suffer much consequences. Holy Rise and Holy Raid is a perfect attack, and I guess the chance of getting random buff and added mobility of Transform can help it too. In conclusion, Cloud is a perfect offensive fighter for newcomer, but long-time player can still do something awesome with it. Despite a lot of power, he's still got some utility and tiny mobility, so he's not a one-trick pony. But still, he got a ton of horsepower. Just beware his lack of speed and he will become an awesome powerhouse for your team. Well, that's over. But still feel like I'm missing something here. Something about his clothes. Oh, that's right! Where the hell is a Cloud cross-dressing costume, huh? Please Square, makes everyone's dream come true.